only to realize it would never come true. Even if you don't consider yourself a dreamer, you must have had desires and hopes that you knew would never materialize, so you gave up. Hopes and dreams are part of the human spirit. They are a driving force that inspire people to do what was once the impossible. Our next speaker wishes to persuade you to believe that your hopes and dreams, no matter how big or how impossible they may seem, are still worth pursuing. With a speech titled Big Dreams, please welcome Rocky Nichols.
Remember when we were kids, and we dreamed big dreams of things we do when we grew up, and then, we grew up. Then those dreams that were once distant and unreachable were now, still distant and unreachable. So we laid those dreams down and we moved on. What if we hadn't laid those dreams down, but continued to pursue them throughout our life, even to the end? And if then they were still beyond our reach, maybe our children or the generation who follow us could pick them up, and they could actually live the dreams that we never could. Wouldn't that by itself be worth it? Abraham Lincoln had a big dream of ending the Civil War and healing the nation. Martin Luther King had a dream of a nation free of racism and prejudice. Mother Teresa had a dream of a world free of suffering. All of these people had dreams beyond their reach. But what would the world be like today if they had laid those dreams down? We all dream dreams. We've all laid some of our dreams down, but what would our lives be like today? Or more important, what would our children's lives be like tomorrow if we kept some of those dreams alive? Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, yes, I have a dream I'd like to share with you. It's not as big or as noble as these others. In fact, it's more adventurous and lighthearted. But I use it to demonstrate what I believe dreaming big dreams is all about. There's a place in northern Michigan where the waters of two Great Lakes come together. It's a place where events from history that forged our nation have occurred time and again. And it's a place where an ordinary person like you and me dreamed a big dream of a bridge that would be 5 miles long. In 1957, that dream became a reality when the Mackinac Bridge was constructed, connecting Michigan's upper and lower peninsulas together. And a peculiar thing happened when they first constructed those tall towers of the bridge. 6 men climbed to the top, over 500 feet above the water, and stood on a platform half the size of your table, and posed for a photograph. My dream is that one day I'll be able to climb to the top of that bridge myself and stand just as those men did years ago. It's a dream so real to me, I can hear myself when I get to the top. Whoa, that's a long way down! Then I'm going to take a look around, because from the top of that bridge you can see all those sights from history. You can watch as ships from around the world pass beneath. And you can look to the north. You can look at that way and see a little town where in 1884 a man could only dream of the bridge that exists today. And before I leave the top of that bridge, I'm going to pull out a Toastmasters magazine and I'm going to pose for a photograph and get in that little traveling picture gallery they have. Now I know what you might be thinking. That's a pretty wild dream. Especially when I tell you, I'm afraid of heights. But along with you, I've been learning to forge my future by facing my fears. Now you might also be thinking, this guy's never going to make it to the top of that bridge. Maybe not. But that's really my point. You see, the man in 1884 certainly knew they couldn't build a 5-mile-long bridge back then. But he continued to dream. 70 years later, people were inspired to actually build it. Mother Teresa certainly knew that suffering wouldn't end in her lifetime, but she never gave up the fight. And after her death, she inspired thousands to pick up that cause as their very own. Dr. King, in his own speeches, said that he might man's dream, but he never stopped shouting from every mountainside to let freedom ring. And after his death, he inspired a generation to continue on. Even Lincoln had a premonition of his own death, but he never faltered from his efforts to end the Civil War and to heal this nation. And after his death, he inspired the entire country, maybe even the world to this day. I may never get to the top of that bridge. That's not what's important. If that is my dream, then what's important is that I always try to get there. And perhaps inspire someone else in the process. My question to you, why not dream big dreams? And if those dreams are worthy of your time and sacrifice, maybe even your life, never lay them down. And one day, if you realize you're never going to reach that goal, look behind you and see just how many people you've inspired to dream big dreams and live to achieve them as they watched you in your efforts to achieve yours. You see, dreaming big dreams is really not about us. It's about those who remain behind when we're gone. It may be as complicated as solving the world's problems, or as simple as planting some trees that you'll never see mature, but your grandchildren will. Or as wild as climbing to the top of a bridge to get a picture